Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Easy Peasy Vocab. How are you all doing? I'm back with another video on phrasal verbs for everyday life. Let's see the first one, goes off. If a light or machine goes off, it stops working. If an alarm goes off, it starts ringing. If food or drink goes off, it is not good to take. That means it is rotten. In the first visual, you can see a light bulb connected to a battery, and when the circuit is complete, energy from the battery is transferred to the light and it glows. But imagine that the battery is flat and doesn't have any energy. What will happen to the light? The light goes off. That means it doesn't glow. The light goes off when the batteries are flat. That means it stops working. In the second visual, you can see an alarm ringing. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. every morning. That means my alarm starts ringing at 6 a.m. every morning. The next one is head off to. That means to leave a place or to begin a journey. In the first image, you can see a person going to his office in the morning. He also has a cup of coffee in his hand. I usually head off to work at 7 in the morning. That means he leaves his home and goes to work at 7 in the morning. In the second image, you can see two women talking. Claire and Clara head off to find a rental car. That means they left their place to find a rental car. The next one is freshen up. To make someone or something clean and pleasant. In the first image, you can see a boy taking shower. Why is he taking shower? To make himself clean and fresh, right? Sam was taking a shower to freshen up. In the second image, you can see a lady opening the window. Why is she opening the window? To get some fresh air to make the room hygienic. Right? Kathy opened the window to freshen up the room. Why did she open the window? To get fresh air, and the oxygen present in the fresh air is vital for our day-to-day life. Right? The next one is woke up. That means to be awake, alert, and conscious after sleeping. So in the first visual, you can see a man waking up suddenly in the middle of the night. James woke up in the middle of the night when he heard a noise outside. So he got up because of the noise that he heard coming from outside. So it means to be awake and stop sleeping or coming into senses. In the second image, you can see a girl showing her eye, which is red. I woke up with a red eye this morning. The next one is dozed off. That means to fall asleep, especially during the day. In the first image, you can see a mom reading a book to her son. You can also see the boy sleeping, right? The boy dozed off while his mother was reading to him. That means he fell asleep unintentionally during the day when his mom was reading a book to him. In the second image, you can see a man sitting and sleeping on a bench in the park. Finally, tired, he sat down on a park bench to rest and dozed off. That means he fell asleep. The next one is slept through. That means not waking up even though it is noisy. So in the first image, you can see an alarm ringing, but the man is still sleeping. Jacob slept through his alarm again, so he will be late for work. That means he's not waking up, right? He slept through his alarm. Even though the alarm is making noise, he's still sleeping. And in the second image, you can see people in a movie theater. The first man, Tyson, is sleeping while the movie is playing. Tyson was so bored that he slept through the second half of the movie. That means he's not waking up even though the movie has been playing. That means even though it is noisy, he's still sleeping. The next one is sleepover. That means to sleep in someone else's home for a night, usually about children. Usually, children go for sleepovers. In the first image, you can see a mom and daughter talking. The daughter is asking, Mom, can I sleep over at my friend's house? That means she wants to go to her friend's house and stay for that night with her friend. So she's asking, Can I sleep over at my friend's house? In the second image, you can see two kids having fun during the night with a torchlight. Mark is sleeping over at his cousin's house. That means Mark went to his cousin's house and stayed that night with his cousin, right? He's spending that night with his cousin. So Mark is sleeping over at his cousin's house. The next one is turn in. That means to go to bed or to return something to an organization or a person in authority. In the first image, you can see a boy sleeping. The students turn in at 8:30. That means the students go to bed at 8:30 because they need to go to school the next morning. In the second image, you can see a teacher talking to her students. Turn in your homework, please. That means she is telling the kids to return their homework so that she can correct and grade them. Got it? The next one is sat down. That means to sit down or take a sitting position. He sat down and turned on the radio. That means in the picture you can see a man sitting and turning on the radio, right? In the second image, you can see a boy trying to take his shoes off. Caden sat down and took off his shoes and socks. So you can see the boy taking off his shoes and socks, right? He's in a sitting position. So he sat down. The next one is pottering about. Tina spent the afternoon pottering about in her garden. So in the image, you can see Tina trying to plant new flowering plants. She's trying to plant some shrubs. So she spent the afternoon pottering about. She's doing the little tasks in the garden in a very relaxed way. In the second image, you can see a man on a canoe, right? Alex used to be pottering about in a canoe on summer afternoons. That means he likes to canoe, like he likes to do the task in a very relaxed way. He enjoys canoeing. Got it? The next one is stayed up, means to go to bed later than usual. That means to be awake for a longer time and then go to bed late. In the first image, you can see a girl studying, right? You can see the night light. She's studying in the night lamp. Sophia stayed up late revising for her math test. That means she got to bed late because she was studying for her math test. In the second image, you can see a family watching TV very interestingly. We stayed up to watch a film. That means they didn't go to bed because they watched the film that night, so they went to bed late. Got it? The next one is nodded off. That means to fall asleep unintentionally. In the first image, you can see school students, they're sitting in an assembly. Quite a few kids nodded off during the assembly. That means quite a few students, they fell asleep unintentionally. I think everyone has experienced that sleeping unintentionally at some point in time, right? Either in an assembly or in listening to a speech. You must have slept. So, quite a few kids nodded off during the assembly. That means they fell asleep unintentionally. In the second image, you can see a couple watching TV. She has the TV remote in her hand and then they're sleeping. After our busy day, we both sat and nodded off in front of the TV. That means they were watching TV and then fell asleep unintentionally because they were tired, right? Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment for more videos. Thank you so much.